This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. Hey man, I just realized I have an insane amount of confidence in Andrew Berry because the Browns don't have a kicker, nor do they have a punter right now. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, man, Andrew got that. Like, we ain't worried. Like, come on, man. Like, you expect me to be worried about a kicker? Come on, a punter? Bro, we got Andrew. Look, I ain't even looking it up. I know usually I got to look up different things. Andrew going to sign somebody on Tuesday if he got to. And whoever that person that they sign, it's probably going to be good. Probably going to be straight. Probably going to make a couple kicks, run on out there. D-Hop going to come back. We going to be good. That's the level of confidence that I'm kicking at with Andrew Berry. And some of y'all might ask, why are you this confident in Andrew Berry? First of all, I'm going to point to the record. Second thing I'm going to point to is the injured reserve. All right. You can look at the injured reserve, look at the record, look at the injured reserve, look at the injured reserve record. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's why I'm that confident in it. And the reason that makes me so confident is because this season has been the season of Andrew Berry having to work his ass off, right? Because the one thing that happens when you get a bunch of injuries, when you get 30% of your salary cap on injured reserve, that means you have to replace 30% of your salary cap with dudes making the league minimum. That's a very tough job. Let's walk through it, right? Let's walk through how prepared Kevin and AB have been throughout this whole ordeal, right? Like, I'm going to try to walk through it mentally, injury by injury. We ain't even include the preseason stuff like Jakeem Grant, right? Because this video will be like 45 minutes long if I do that. So let's start with the first injury. Jack Conklin goes down for the whole year. Okay? Damn. But not that bad. I remember we was thinking, hey, man, if we was going to get one, back in the sad ass days when we thought we was only gonna get one season-ending injury, right? One major injury. Now it was like, hey man, if we get one, that's the one we can have, right? Little did we know that the whole roster would be on injured reserve. We'd be down to like 4 people on the starting offense. But Jack Conklin goes down. Okay, there ain't no problem. Bring in DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones comes in there. We ain't even thought about that injury. All right. So cool. Nick Chubb goes down. Now that's a different position to replace. That is a little bit different, right? Replacing Nick Chubb's a little bit different. Now, you made the trade before this regular season started for Pierre Strong. So you brought in Pierre Strong. You had a couple of options here and there. You signed Kareem Hunt and you cobbled together enough of a rushing attack. It's not that good. It's been better at other points of the season, but ever since the starting 2 tackles, well, the 2 tackles that we had left went down for the rest of the year. Run game ain't been good, but you know what? It got you through some moments, right? Like you probably don't win in Indy if you don't sign Kareem Hunt. You probably don't win half the games that you did if you don't trade for KO. Oh, let's go back because I forgot his most brilliant move this year. So at the beginning of the preseason, we were sure Cade York was going to be the kicker. We were like, hey, man, Cade York's got to improve. All of this stuff that we was talking about Cade York, we was having these conversations. And then the preseason game started, and Cade York sucked. He missed all them kicks. He looked awful. And every week, he would miss kicks, and people would be like, hey, Q, you got to understand. He has generational kicking talent. And then he would miss more kicks and he'd be like, hey, Q, you have to understand. It's only the preseason. And then they would play another preseason game and he missed more kicks. Remember, the Browns played 4 preseason games this year. We played in the Hall of Fame game. So he would miss more kicks and he'd be like, all right, well, this isn't looking good. You know, I'm not going to, you know, even Cade York's most ardent defenders started to be like, hold on. Maybe we should bring in a veteran to push Cade, right? Like that's what we got. We weren't at cut Cade yet. I was at cut Cade about 2 games into this experience. But, you know, some people were like, hey, man, let's bring in a veteran to push Cade. And then Cade went out there for that last preseason game. Not only did the man miss an extra point to start it off, he came back out for 2 game winners and missed them both. So they cut Cade York. They finally cut bait on it. We lost. We done with this Cade York thing. They finally accepted the Quincy Carrier school of kicking, which is you just can't draft these dudes, man. Like you can't trust them enough to draft. We don't know what we doing about kicker to draft. It's so random. The best kicker right now was in the USFL for 2 years. And before he was in the USFL, he was like a D-League player in the MLS. Shit is random. Nobody knows how to evaluate it. But nonetheless, we finally make a move off Cade York, get Dustin Hopkins. Turns out to be one of the best moves of the season. Simply stabilizing that kicker position, probably responsible for 3 or 4 wins that you don't get with Cade York. And it's not because Cade York's an average kicker and we got a great kicker. It's because Cade York stunk. Now, you can argue we should have never drafted Cade York in the first place. And I'm going to be honest with you, I blame that shit all on Mike Priefer. I do. I blame it all on Mike Priefer. I blame that shit completely 100. He's the one who pounded the table for Cade York. It's the 4th round. In the 4th round, position coaches have significantly more say than the GM, just because the GM he's really in charge of the top 100. The position coaches get a little bit more sway in that. And if a position coach pounds the table loud enough, you got enough 4th round picks, you say, fuck it, I'll get the kicker. You want the kicker? I'll get the kicker. We got the kicker. It didn't work. That's Mike Priefer. I put that on Mike Priefer. Not a little bit on Andrew. He still okayed it, but I put it on Mike. Mike made the evaluation. Mike thought he could evaluate a kicker when nobody has evaluated a kicker properly in the NFL. So nonetheless, you move off Cade, you get Dustin Hopkins. There were people sending all kind of spicy tweets about that one. Talking about, oh yeah, you traded for somebody who lost the kicking competition. You really think that's going to solve it? Just a lot of idiots. But my personal beefs with specific people who cover specific parts of the team aside, great trade turns into wins. That feels great. Now, the season goes along. You lose Nick Chubb. You got to cobble together a solution for that. Okay. All right. We replaced the right tackle. We replaced our franchise running back. We good, man. We good. We good. We not going to have to cobble together nothing else. Deshaun Watson's shoulder don't work no more. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got to do something about that. All right. So, he goes in there and he does something about that. He throws DTR out there, ends up being a disaster. So you got to cobble together a PJ Walker performance or 2. And you know what? You get out of that and you're like, all right, we duct taped enough around. We put enough around the quarterback with PJ Walker that we good. Deshaun's back now. He gonna be healthy. We gonna ride out the rest of this year. It was a bumpy ride to start, y'all. Yeah, it was a bumpy ride to start, but you know what? We got out of it with a really good record. We're in prime position to take over this whole thing. We're gonna play the Cardinals, and then we're gonna play Baltimore, and then we're gonna roll through the rest of the season, y'all, man. We really got in a good spot here, right? We won the games that we needed. We beat San Francisco. I know it was rough. But we got through the rough start. Now we're gonna start getting healthy like a normal team, and everything's gonna be all right. And then you roll through Arizona and you beat that ass and you feel great about it. You like, hey, now we back. And then you go to Baltimore in M&T Bank Stadium, and your franchise quarterback, who you pay $230 million to, finally looks like a $230 million quarterback. And you like, yeah, this is here. We're here for the rest of you. Look at the rest of that schedule. All teams we could beat. We feel like we got our quarter. Yes, we are here. We are here. We went through that rough patch. It's over with. Now we about to roll off to promise, baby. Like we about to be here. Out for the year. So Deshaun's out for the year. Huh. Okay. You know what we gonna do? We gonna bring back DTR. We gonna make sure he reads the playbook this time, and then he gonna come out here. He gonna beat the Steelers. He beats the Steelers. We lost DeJuan Jones in the process, though. Like, he's kind of hurt. Oh, Jed Wills is definitely hurt, though. Like, he's gone, dog. Like, he ain't coming back for the rest of the year. Maybe. But DeJuan, yeah. So we got more injuries, dog. We got more injuries, man. All right. Okay. Okay. You know, Andrew's trying to regroup himself. This is a very experimental video at this point, I'm starting to realize. So Andrew starts to regroup himself. He's like, all right, we're gonna cobble this together. We're gonna bring in Garyon Christian. We're gonna throw Dewan in on some sets, but not in on other sets, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna be all right. You play Denver, Myles Garrett gets hurt, freaking DeJuan Jones gets hurt for the year. You lose a bunch of other. Denzel Ward ain't been seen in weeks, by the way. So you out here playing Mike Ford for a stretch of time. Since you playing Mike Ford, the defense look like ass. People out here thinking it's the defense that stinks. It's just Mike Ford. But, you know, you got to deal with all this stuff. You got to find a way to get Mike Ford off the field. You out here bringing Halasi. Like, all kind of people you just out here throwing at the solution. You ran out of answers. You ran out of answers. And your quarterback got hurt. DTR got hurt. But hey, man, you were prepared. You signed Joe Flacco. You gonna roll with Joe Flacco. That first game goes by, and it looks good at times. And it didn't end great, but it looked good enough to feel like there's something there with Joe. All your offensive linemen got hurt in that whole stretch. And it's just been never ending for Andrew Berry. I've never seen. You see it sometimes, and the point of that whole bit was just to establish to anybody watching who's not fully aware. These injuries didn't just hit for a couple of weeks. These injuries didn't hit like at the beginning of the season. They had the whole season to adjust. These injuries have hit consistently throughout the year. It's been like DLC, like just here comes a little bit here, then boom. Okay, we're going to take all this out the game and boom. And oh yeah, that you like that? That's out, boom. And then you bring right here, you like, okay, well, at least we got this. Nah, you ain't got that no more. You know, we've been out here like, hey man, at least we got kicker. At least we got a punter. Nah, they gone. They out. And you play on a short week. What's up? It's like the injury guys are challenging us every week. They're like, oh yeah, you figured that out. Oh, 10 wins. That's nice. How about you do it with no kicker and punter? This is what it's been like for Andrew Berry all season. It's just been a nonstop barrage of injury after injury, and it's been his job to find dudes to replace guys who make $40, $30, $20 million a year on practice squads to step up and do this. And look, Ronnie Hickman, balling, undrafted free agent. D'Anthony Bell, balling, undrafted free agent. Just, he's finding solution. He continues to find solutions. And that's why Andrew Berry is the best GM, because anybody can sign a free agent that everybody knows is good at football. Anybody can draft a player we all like, number 5 overall, that we know is really good at football, right? Like, that stuff's not that difficult. What is difficult is this shit that Andrew Berry's pulling off, where he has no first round picks, no second round picks most of the time. He out here picking with the back half of the draft. He out here picking with the back half of the roster. He out here picking for the back half of the salary cap. He's dealing with less resources than any other GM in the NFL, and he's making it work. Who else could lose their highest 2 paid offensive players? Well, no, not Amari Cooper's the second highest. Who else could lose their highest paid offensive player in their quarterback, and their third highest paid offensive player in their running back, and then a bunch of offensive linemen in between there that are also highly paid, and still put together something decent? Andrew Berry and Andrew Berry alone. And that is why Andrew Berry is the best GM in all of football. Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night. Peace.